Welcome to Bon Jovi Discussions. Today I have my friend Anika, who's been on this podcast now, what, two times now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
twice. Hey
Yeah.
everyone.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, just excited for, the performance that just happened, everything new that's popping up, the backstage stuff, everything like that. Got some Bon Jovi stuff for my for birthday. There's some things coming up at Christmas. So yeah,
Christmas is
pretty
around the
excited.
corner. Yeah. So anyway, let's get right into it. We are going to talk about the Jon Bon Jovi performance at Harris and Walt's rally yesterday that he did in North Carolina. Now, I don't want the podcast to be about politics. I solely just kind of want to talk about the
Mm,
performance. Um, so let's get right into it. So I know you're in UK, right? You're in the UK.
yeah, I'm in the UK.
Good. Um, and here I am in America, but this election is so crucial. I said we're not going to get into politics. But this election is so crucial because not only affects us in our country, but it also affects others in other countries as well. So it's a
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
crucial, I mean, this is probably one of the most crucial elections that our country is facing that has ever
Mhm.
faced. And so, John has kind of always campaigned and endorsed, a lot of Democratic nominees, probably since 2000 with Al Gore. I
Mhm.
remember I got to see him perform for Hillary Clinton a few years ago. And in 20, obviously the 2020 election, it was pandemic, so there was really no
Mhm.
performances other than the one that John and Everett was there, Lorenzo, they did it down in Miami. They did Here Comes the Sun. Um, and so this whole election here, we were wondering, will John perform? Will he, what's the words I'm looking for here? Will he
In a way, like not directly, but
will
like
he campaign?
indirectly, like support, endorse the
Those are the
candidates.
words.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the words. And I'm really glad, because The People's House is pretty much the band's third single. And
Hmm.
that's kind of come at the right time because, The People's House is, about the house of you and me, unity and coming together as a country and not be divided. Um, so
But
I was
also,
really,
when was it written?
what's that?
When was it written?
The White House riots.
Exactly. It was shortly after that he wrote
Yeah.
this.
So So let's get right
But
into so John so there was a Harris rally in North Carolina yesterday, and it was John Bon Jovi, Everett Bradley, John Shanks, and then Warren Treaty, which is Michael and Tanya. They all
Mhm,
did an acoustic set together, which they did
mhm.
Prayer and the People's House, which we'll get into. So we all got to watch it on live stream. I know there was a lot of Bon Jovi fans that went on there and watched it. I do want to say one thing. I am really, you'll see a lot of negative people online, but I really love that John is using his platform and his voice and just campaigning and endorsing Harris, like I said, this is a crucial election, so I'm really glad that he's using his platform. You'll get the
Mhm.
people out there that are mean and negative and just say, celebrities should stay out of it. Well, why? If you and I are allowed to voice our opinions online about politics, why can't
Why can't
John
they?
or any other celebrity,
Yeah, exactly.
And so
Especially at such a crucial election that's going on at the moment. Like,
mhm.
why wouldn't you hear what like the people who are more knowledgeable about that in a way because they are right in the midst of it. Like especially John, like he's been so involved in politics like quite early on, like with Al Gore and all of them. Like he's been involved with those elections and the campaigning and all of that, so he knows these people. And same with the other celebrities, like they know these people. Those kind of things that they stand for, it affects them exactly the same as it does you and me.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And like I said, I went to the 2016 rally where he campaigned for Clinton, and I loved it. I thought it was a fun show. Looking back, I think he did Prayer, Who Says, and maybe Here Comes the Sun. But it was a lot of fun, just as a fan, it's
Mhm.
cool to see those kind of shows. Um,
Yeah.
and it wasn't yeah, it was great. So let's get it. So during this campaign rally, John gets introduced. He comes out with Shanks and Everett. Um, I was surprised Lorenza wasn't there because a lot of the, when they do a lot of acoustic performances and stuff, Lorenza's usually um, with them.
Yeah.
So, but I see Shanks kind of, which is cool. Shanks was there. Everett, Warren Treaty. Um, so I guess they take the stage and there was like a minor tech issue because I think we could see John trying to say hello to the crowd and the mic wasn't working. So you see the tech guys coming out real quick and switching up microphones and easy quick fix.
Hmm.
And so the first song that they do is The People's House acoustic,
Hmm.
which I
Oh,
hope we get
putting off.
a release of that. I love it acoustic.
Yes.
It has a different
It's a
vibe
little
to it. I
different.
love it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with like Everett's tempo and him,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it changes the song's dynamic a little bit, and I
Hmm.
love it. I thought it was really good. I love the way that John um sang it. I thought that
Yeah.
was really good. And then I tell you what, I didn't know anything about Warren Treaty before the Music Cares event where they performed, and then obviously their work with John on the People's House. But let me tell you what, Michael and Tanya, they are fucking talented. Their
They
voices
are.
are just phenomenal. And their
Yeah.
songs, so we've talked about the People's House before, and I've said that I like the album version, but I love the War and Treaty version so much more. I think with the People's House, it sounds like a Keep the Faith kind of song, and it
Hmm.
needs that gospel sound. And I
Yeah.
think the gospel sound in the War and Treaty version, it makes it really stand out more.
Yeah.
So I loved watching the People's House on this
Hmm.
rally. I thought that was awesome. What were your thoughts?
So, obviously, about a month ago or a couple of months ago, when the War and 3D version came out, we talked about it when,
Yeah.
like, and I did say that it was one of those that I had to listen to a couple of times, and it really grew on me. And now, it's it's my favorite version of that song because, like you said, like it give having the War and 3D that gives it another layer, another like something that we used to hear songs like, Keep the Faith and
Mhm.
all of those, like you mentioned. And it just, I don't know, this version has just grown on me so much. And it was great to see it, like, see another twist on it.
Yeah.
And actually, like, in my opinion, like, Warren Treaty's vocals were even more powerful
Yeah.
in the acoustic version than it was in the recorded version. And
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that we do get the actual recording of this and like they go to the studio and they'll do it together.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but it seemed to me like the version at least that I was listening to, um, John sounded amazing, but you could barely hear him during the People's
I,
House.
I noticed that, especially with, and not no fault to Michael or Tanya. I think their mics kind of overpower because the
Yeah,
techs,
yeah,
they
that's
have
what I
things,
was.
and I think they had their mics higher than John's.
Mhm.
Um, but either way, it was still really
You
good.
could
I
still
I
hear
think
him, and yeah, you could still hear him, and he
yeah,
he sounded great. Like, considering where he was 2, 3 years ago, we might have an announcement soon. You never know. Like, he seemed confident, he seemed happy with the way he sounded, and yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. And one other thing I want to say about the People's House, I think that it was brilliant to put this song out there, especially at this rally. Unfortunately, a lot of general people who aren't Bon Jovi fans or just, might know a few songs, that a lot of people aren't going
Mhm.
to know the People's House unless you've
Mhm.
got the new album and have heard it, blah, blah, blah. So, but I still think the People's House is effective because it really is about where we are in our country now, where we need to be united. And, America is our country. It's about us, not me or, it's about we, like John has said. So I think the song was perfect. And the way that they performed it really pulls you in and makes you feel um the song. So yeah, let's
Yeah,
get it.
like
So, oh, good.
like we said last time as well when we talked about the song, like this is one of the songs that will bring a new generation, a
Mhm.
new type of Bon Jovi fans in because it has that power, it has that message that will resonate with the people who maybe might know just like a prayer or bad name or it's my life, but that might be their gateway in,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely. Let's go into prayer. I had a feeling when, this was announced the other day that he was going to be performing.
Mhm.
I had a feeling prayer was going to get played. And now let's all keep in mind that John has only performed publicly, what I'd say maybe three, four
Yeah,
times
I was gonna
since
say
the
3 or 4
surgery.
times. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like a couple
yeah,
of times in JBJ Nash, and I
which was
think
twice. And
yeah, and
then
then
this,
he did the American Idol.
America and Music Care, so five times.
Yeah.
So I have seen a lot of improvement. And I'll be honest, I was watching this yesterday and I was just sitting there proud. I even, my wife was next to me and I said, "Oh my gosh, he's back."
Mhm.
He sounded really good vocally. And the what I really loved about this performance was his swagger and confidence. Right,
Yeah.
like Dirt, when he holds that note, "Living on a Prayer," right before the
Mhm.
obviously there's no guitar solo on this performance here, but we'll
Mhm.
call it the rhythm solo. Right before when he's holding those, living on our prayer, and he's holding those notes. I was like,
Mhm.
yes, that's
Yeah.
Jon Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
And then you could just see how you could see the pride in him that he hit those
Mhm.
notes, and his swagger and confidence just went up a notch
Oh yeah.
after that. And for the rest of the performance,
Mhm.
and I was so proud of him. I really was. And that's one thing I want to say too. I think that's how much he cares about raising awareness about this election. I know he's at a tough spot with, getting better and stuff.
Mhm.
And he still went out there and he performed and
Yeah.
did his best just to raise awareness and support
Mhm.
Harris. And I think that was just awesome. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. And I absolutely love that they did the acoustic prayer because it was just amazing. Like
yes.
you could really see that his vocals have improved. And that's exactly what he was talking about in London when I saw him and I met him. And I asked him a question like, okay, is there something like a song that's going to be eliminated in the set list? And he was like, no, absolutely not, because I'm about 95% there, I think he said at the time. That yeah, I'm about 95% there. I will get back there. No song is out of the question. And then I was like, well, okay. Obviously you're recovering and everything like that. But it is say that you kind of in the documentary you said you regret the key change in prayer. And he was like, yeah, but like no one should sing a high C, but I'm back on that. Like I've been working on it, I'm hitting it, and it showed.
Yeah.
He was just so proud. Like
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
it was good to see that sparkle in his eyes again and like see the John that we all love and know.
Yeah. And I love the way I think I watched the outro the most,
Mhm.
of seeing Michael and Tanya just fully into it. And Michael's voice on that is like, wow. I
Mm.
was awesome. And they all just blended well together. And I really enjoyed that. Um,
Yeah.
and then right after prayer, they do the speech. John does a quick 2 minute speech,
Mhm.
short but effective. And
Yes.
it's so funny that he starts to see my name is Jon Bon Jovi. Like we know, we know who you are.
Yeah.
Um, and I think one of the respectful things that he said, I don't want to get into politics here, but we know, I guess not. He says not slinging any mud, and I think
Mm-hmm.
he's just kind of being respectful. And I'm not here to sling any mud. Practically he's saying, I'm just here to voice an opinion and show my support, blah, blah, blah. But the one quote that he said that really gave me goosebumps and made me really think about this election, who can we rely on to unite us when we are at our most divided?
Yeah, that hit me as well. Like, because
Yeah.
even though I'm not in US, literally, because I've been kind of keeping on track on like what's going on and like the back and forth between the two
Yeah.
candidates and all that. But like, their platforms are so different, and you can clearly tell that one of them really cares a lot more and
Yeah.
can unite the people. And like, I'm glad that John like put this quote out there and made people think because that was
Yep.
a thought-provoking thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It was I agree with you. It's so I'm glad that he kind of went out there and
Mhm.
used his platform, his voice. And I really love that a lot of other celebrities that have been doing the same, voice because they have every right to voice their opinions just like you and
Mhm.
me. And yeah, I'm just proud of him. He's my hero, my favorite rock star, and it just makes me
Yeah,
even more
thank
proud of
you.
him. He has the same political beliefs as I do and stuff, and that's great.
Mhm.
So,
I think he is all about people, like
yep.
with the Soul Kitchen and the Soul Foundation and everything. Like he is all about people,
Yeah.
and that's what I love about him. Like he's not just a rock star; he is humanitarian.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's right, but
Yeah,
you
that's
know
right.
what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. But
You know what I mean.
but thank you so much for taking the time to come on today and do this episode with me. I sincerely appreciate it. And it's
No
always great
worries.
chatting with you. Stay on
Yeah,
while I end the recording. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
you're welcome. Thanks
All
for
right.
having me.
Absolutely. All right.